All right, thank you everyone. I'm Alex from BBCanada. I came here yesterday, you've seen me. Some of you already asked a couple questions and everything, so thank you for that. I'm here to present the new BB Book It engine, which is basically a new way for you guys to synchronize all your calendars and your reservations engine all across internet. So it's going to help your online presence, and it's going to help you figure out how exactly you want to market to everybody else, to all your visitors, potential visitors, people you're currently missing out on for different reasons. Because right now, there is a lot of administrative work related to having multiple engines all left and right, multiple booking system. There's a lot of different ways that we can help you facilitate that and help you, get through your day without having a headache. So we'll just go ahead and start. Basically, BB Book It. So it's a new channel management technology which already exists. There are others who provide that service, but we feel that they do some things differently. They provide it in ways that don't necessarily facilitate your everyday life. Sometimes it's the interface that's not necessarily great. Sometimes it's just a matter of how it feels to you, or who they link to, or who is going to help you if you need help, if you have problems and that kind of stuff. So we're going to try as much as possible to present a general overview, and we'll go from there. First of all, your online presence. It's a lot more important now in 2015 than it was obviously 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Some of you guys have been running in the business since like the early 90s, some of you even before that. And I've heard a lot of people tell me, well, you know what, I don't really know if this is for me. Maybe I don't need that much presence online. Maybe I'm okay with just word of mouth and a BBCanada listing or a FOBBA listing, and that's enough for me. Well, some people in some areas can get away with that, but the reality of things is nowadays you need a little bit more. You need to go the extra mile, not just because you're going to get more bookings, but also because the industry is ever changing, right? So everybody now has a smartphone. Everybody now uses internet to look up everybody else, as we heard yesterday and today. Reviews are really important as well, but there needs to be a centralized tool that you can have to keep track of it all. Because sometimes it's really, really easy to get lost when you have 5 different places that send you bookings, and then you have to run home and close your calendars and make sure, oh, do I have a double booking? Did I forget about somebody? Am I going to come home tomorrow night and somebody's just going to walk in and I have no idea who they are? I'm sure it happened once in a while. I've had a couple of you guys call me and say, what am I going to do? Well, this is going to help you prevent that. So calendars and reservation, you don't necessarily need to have 4, 5, 6 different mediums, but some people prefer that. If you only have 1 or 2, that's great as well. It's just a step in the right direction, and some people will be really content with having just the one on their own website, for example. And you don't need to have a Booking.com, a Airbnb, Expedia, BBCanada, all that stuff. You don't need to have engines and reservation system directly on those things if you don't want to. But at least one on your personal website where people can book with you, even if it means, you're going to call them afterwards and confirm a couple things and make sure they know what you're about, what you expect from them, what you can expect from you. At least having a way for people to reach you and get to you quickly. Because nowadays, people are not patient. They want to have everything right away. And that's something that's going to help you with that. So OTAs, what's a booking engine? OTAs, well, it's those websites, online travel agencies like BBCanada, like Booking.com, like Airbnb, all those guys, bedandbreakfast.com. We bring you traffic, we bring you bookings, but also we can bring you general exposure for stuff like reviews. And it's underrated. a lot of people underestimate how important it is to have different outlets, because you're always going to have to cross-reference. If you're a visitor and you're trying to go somewhere, you guys do it as well, because you guys are in the business, so you know where to look. But if I'm somebody who's not really, into travel in general, this is my first time looking for somewhere to go, and I just want to find the best place in, Stratford. Where am I going to go? I'm going to go on Google. I'm not going to go directly on BBCanada. I'm not going to go on TripAdvisor. I don't even know about those websites. I'm going to go on Google, and I'm going to type in bed and breakfast in Stratford. What's going to happen is I'm going to have hundreds of thousands of results for bed and breakfast in Stratford. Now, past the second page, it's mostly spam. It's mostly like, random pages or somebody mentioning it. But the key point is the first couple results need to reflect good and valuable information, and information that correlates all those different key points. So what you're about. Now, let's go into synchronizing your calendars. What that means, it means if you get a booking on BBCanada, you don't have to run home and go block off your calendars everywhere else. You don't have to get stressed out about the idea of having double bookings, because all those calendars, they're going to send information to each other without you even knowing about it. If you get a booking on the booking space or the booking engine, the BB Book It, if you get a booking on there, within 5 seconds, that booking is going to be known to your other OTAs. And what's going to happen at that point is Airbnb and Expedia and BBCanada and all that, they're going to know about it before you do, because your rooms are already going to be blocked off on those websites before you even know about it. You're going to get an email, but that email, you're going to read it a couple hours later, maybe the next day even. So it's important that all your websites are aware of what's going on right away, because you don't want those double bookings. So link it all together, keep it together. That's mostly for you guys. Keep it together to not, get burnt out of administrative work. Because like I said, I've had a couple situations where people were just like, you know what? I don't even know if it's worth it for me. Like, I just want to get off everything because I'm spending 2 hours a day trying to keep track of it all. And that's something we're going to eliminate. And obviously, should be granted in 2015, but you can access it from anywhere. If you're at your friend's place, if you're across the world, you're still going to have access to all your bookings, all your data, all the the information, the key information, everybody's phone number, email addresses. You could be creating invoices for your bookings directly from Germany. You could be creating anything, doing all your business from anywhere you want. So Mexico even. So it's going to save you time, lots of it. So no more double booking. Also, it's going to allow you to monitor your performance. You're going to be able to compare how well you do on certain outlets, as well as compare where your bookings are coming from and what month of the year is best for BBCanada, what month of the year is best for bedandbreakfast.com, how well you do from one week to the next, because it's all going to be centralized. Some of you probably already do that, but you have to take the time to extract all your data, put it in one Excel spreadsheet or something, and figure it all out. Well, this is going to do it for you. There is a couple different stats that you can get from there, and we're going to expand on that and add more and more data that's going to be readily available for everybody. So you won't have to log in everywhere all the time. Basically, your routine is going to be something like this. You're going to, wake up your guests if you want, make some coffee, have breakfast and whatever. And then once you're done that, you're going to be able to just go directly on your computer, sipping your cup of coffee, probably your fifth of the day because you guys are busy. And you're going to be able to just log into BBCanada, go into the BB system. Some of you are familiar with it, some of you are not. It's fairly easy, it's a couple clicks away. And you're going to be able to see every single booking that came in the night before and everything that ever came in and past as well. So let's say you vaguely remember, it's Thursday morning, you vaguely remember, hey, last week I got a booking for next Friday. I need to check something with those guys because I want to make sure that I'm going to have enough food, enough this, enough that. Well, you just log into that one website and you won't miss anything. You won't have to say, should I also log into these other 5-6 websites that I have to confirm that it didn't come from those medium? Well, no, you're not going to have to do that. It's all going to be there. So how does it work? Well, each booking engine that you currently have or don't have, they all work in a different way. So the idea of bringing all this information in a centralized point is that if you want to link your Expedia account, it's going to be its own process. So Expedia works really differently, for example, than Booking.com does or BBCanada. How we're going to achieve that, I'm going to be, first of all, you're going to call me. We're going to set up your initial account. How that works is we talk for like 5-10 minutes. I figure out what you're up to, who you're with, etc. For Booking.com, it's a fairly simple process. It might take about half an hour to get everything done on my end. For your Booking.com, I would say Expedia is one form to fill, and that's it. Then how that works is the bookings are sent directly from Expedia through an email directly to this engine, and then the email adds all that meta information, the data that it needs. It works the same way all around. For your own personal website, there's a tool directly on BB Book It. You can just link to that tool, and it's called the booking space. And that booking space, you can configure it however you want. The booking space, you can pick your own text, colors. It's going to ask your future guests what time they're going to get there. Do they have dietary restrictions? And a lot of them do. So nowadays, it's really important to ask beforehand where they're coming from, how many people, what are their names, address, that kind of stuff. It's all going to be directly on that form. It's going to take them about 2 minutes to fill. And that form is going to be sent directly to the booking engine, and then from the booking engine to each OTA. Fairly simple, and the information goes back and forth. So it all goes from the OTAs to the booking engine to every other OTA and your personal website. It's very convenient. Some examples of OTAs that we can connect to. Now, there's over 30 more. You probably haven't heard of about half of them, because some of them are not as known, some of them are not as popular. As far as booking engines that you have on your personal website, on your own URL, some of them are going to be compatible. Most of them are going to be basically replaced by this. What I mean by that is there's no point in paying for your own engine on your personal website if that means it's not going to be compatible to it, because there is no point in having the same thing twice. You don't have to enter the same information twice. You will never do that again. You'll enter any booking, any information once, and it's always, always, always going to be everywhere. So you don't need an extra engine on top of it. Now, the slide, the image is a little bit weird. I don't know if you guys can see it properly, because it looks, I don't know, the ratio of it. But basically, this is an example of what the calendar is going to look like on your end. That's not what the guests are going to see. Basically, I wish you could clearly see. I wish I should have thought of that. This is room number 1. And by the way, this is Colburn B&B. She was our test client for the past 2 months. We've worked with her extensively to try and get this going. So she allowed us to talk about, her rooms and showcase her calendar and that kind of stuff. So all 4 rooms are right here. Now, there's going to be the first option for max availability. Basically, what that means is it's going to say, is my room available for rental, yes or no? You put 1, you put 0. Obviously, you're gonna have a way of putting that where you're not gonna have to do it manually for each room for each night. You can do all your rooms at once in one click. But this is what it's gonna look like. So everything that's in blue was currently unavailable. Everything that's in white was available and wasn't booked. And everything that's in red was available and booked. Anytime you wanna refer to it, you would just click on the home screen on the top left corner, and the home screen is going to take you straight here. This is a part of the screen where you're going to be able to see the current occupancy. So who is currently in your bed and breakfast? Who do you have right now coming in, coming out? Who's staying for the night? You're going to have for every single day a way of tracking that in one place. You're not going to have to that's more for people who have multiple rooms. If you have 1 or 2 rooms, I would expect you guys to know who's in your bed and breakfast. If you don't, you need to realize that it's important. But if you have 4, 5, 6, 7 rooms, sometimes it gets hectic, especially during the summer. People coming in, coming out, what time are they coming in, what time are they coming out? You're not sure. You need to check your records. Oh my God, that's gonna take forever. Well, no. This is gonna give you an overview of all your bookings. So it's gonna tell you their name, when they got there, when they're leaving, as well as which room they're staying in, and how they got to your B&B. So did they book through booking.com, or did they go through, just gave you a phone call, right? They sent you an email, gave you a phone call. That's called manual reservations in this case. So manual reservations is stuff you put in yourself. It's also going to tell you how much they're paying, so how much they owe you. And then the little blue button at the end is just going to be where you can see the full information. Phone number, email, full invoicing features, and all that stuff. Now, this is just basically a recap of all 5 rooms, and you have quick and easy buttons to go switch your availability or fix your rates. You have ways of putting multiple rates for different rooms. So for example, let's say you want to have a different price on a different OTA. Well, if you want to do that, so you would go in the rates tab. You would say, I want to see from 26th of October to 27th of October, and I want to switch my rates for Anderson room or the Cassidy room or my suite. You can do multiple at once. And then you would click on a little button called rates at the bottom. It's not here right now, but it's right here in the other slide. And all you have to do is put in the rate. Now that works really well also if you want to have different rates for different parts of the year, or if you want to have added fee for a weekend, right? A long weekend, a holiday. It takes you about 2 clicks. You would click here, and then you would click on rates and put the rate in. That simple. There we go. So you can also switch the rate based on a percentage value. So basically, if on booking.com you have a certain price, but you want to have a different price on BBCanada, you're entitled to it. You can do it. Or on your personal website, if you want to give extra discount, you can do it. You can say, I want my personal website to have 5% discount, because you know what? I like when my people book on my personal website. Not a problem. You just put it in. You have a different rate plan, which is what it's going to be called in there, and that's simple. Also, as far as reservations go, so you're going to have a full list of every single reservation you ever made since you started using the system. So your backlog is going to go as far back as you want, could go years even. Your backlog is always going to include the creation date of your booking, where the booking came from. It's going to include the rate, the names of everybody. It's going to include full details when you click on the blue buttons at the end. But also what's really, really interesting, there's a search feature at the top, and obviously it's gray buttons, so you can't really see it on the slide. On a computer screen, if you want to see a little bit more clearly later on, I can show you on the computer. you can search for certain features. So let's say you're doing your little research and you're like, hey, how many cancellations did I get this year? Out of my 400 bookings, how many of them went through? Well, you could just search for cancel reservations, and it will show you every single one that was ever canceled. So it keeps track of those. It doesn't delete them completely from your system. It barely cancels them. Same thing with, for example, if you want to see how many bookings did I get this year from Airbnb? How many bookings did I get this year from BBCanada? You just go on there, search for those criteria, and you're going to see everything you need to know. Same thing for your website. Same concept applies.